Have you ever felt like the universe was playing games with you? Yeah. Like, you know what you want in life, you go after it, you work towards it, you manifest it, you meditate on it, and you need like a little help from the universe, and still it's not quite going as planned. Hello everyone! Today we're going to do a drawing exercise for those moments when we feel like we are lost and life is out of control. And I know, you don't need to tell me. I know that we don't have any control over anything. Life is not about control. I know, okay? I know. But it's really uncomfortable to be out of control all the time. Like, one thing is life being unpredictable and therefore memorable and amazing. And another thing is like tsunami, earthquake, chaos, where you can't even know like where to step, you know? So I'm not telling you to be controlling, okay? That's not the kind of control I'm talking about. I'm talking about organization. Like if Marie Kondo, how do you say her name? Wait. Let's try Google Translator.
Marie Kondo.
Is this it? If Marie Kondo comes to your life and then she like comes in and does her magic and organizes everything, you're still not gonna be in control of your life, but it's gonna feel more organized. You're gonna know where to step. So let's grab some art materials and of course the beverage of your choice. Yeti, if you want to sponsor me, I am available. I'm gonna be using Bristol paper, but you can totally use your sketchbook or any paper you have available to you. And you're gonna need like a ruler, a compass, some sort of tool to help you draw, and of course, pencil and eraser. And to color, you can use your medium of choice. I'm gonna be using some really cool markers. Some of them are alcohol based and some of them are water based. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mix them up, but I will, so you can do whatever you want. Okay, you don't even have to color if you don't want to color. You can just draw textures with lines. Love that. And to give us some sense of order and control, and like give ourselves a break from this feeling of chaos that I'm assuming you're in because you're here, we are going to be working with symmetry. Woo! I feel like symmetry is so calming because like it's predictable, like it's organized, it makes sense, it's almost perfect. If you look at nature and the sacred geometry of like spider webs and leaves and flowers and like all the sacred geometry you see in nature, it brings ourselves back to balance. So this is why we're working with symmetry here. And to start, I want you to mark some center lines on your paper to be guidelines. With the ruler, you can find the middle of the page on the vertical and the horizontal sides, and then you can mark the center lines with a pencil. These are going to be your symmetry lines. So anything that happens on the right side should also happen on the left side, and same with the top and bottom of the page. You know, it's nice to feel predictability a little bit. It's nice to feel that you know where the lines should go. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be, of course, a creative side to this because now we're going to just choose whatever we want to draw in one spot and then replicate it on the other sides in a symmetrical way. So it gives you the feeling of control. Like if you draw a line, you know exactly where the next line should be. You know the equivalent of that line on the other side of the page, right? So it's supposed to work subconsciously to help you feel in control. Today, I want you to use the tools, and if you don't have a ruler or something, you can use like a book, right? You can use a plate to do the circles. You know, you don't have to do anything too perfect. But I want you to use the tools because this can kind of be also a metaphor for receiving support, love, and care from the outside. I think the message is you don't have to do everything by yourself. And I think it creates this question of like, what resources do you have in your life right now that you're not using and that you could be using to support yourself in a challenging time? I think this is what the tools are trying to tell us. Sometimes we just need to like open up to the easy ways of doing things, you know? The easy way is good too. You don't have to be the best and you don't have to be even great or good, you know, contrary to popular belief, but you just don't. Like, you just have to keep doing what you're doing without the pressure of being exceptional and better than everyone else. You know what I mean? Whatever you do today is amazing, is great. Don't judge yourself, okay? Now, keep following your center lines and just do like me and draw whatever you want using your ruler and your compass. This is the time to get more creative and intuitive with your drawing, so there's no really right or wrong. Just use your center lines as your symmetry lines, and you can even use the ruler to measure the symmetrical distances to position elements better on paper. And also, when I was drawing this, I started realizing how not knowing what's going to happen next in our lives is so uncomfortable. I think that's why this exercise brings me back to a comfortable place, because I know what to do next most of the time, especially when I'm drawing the symmetry. But also the unexpected and this feeling of not knowing what's going to happen next is actually what makes the memorable moments in our lives. Like, if you know exactly what your life is going to be like in the next 5 years, you're probably going to get bored at some point, right? I remember when I worked a normal 9-to-5 job, and my days were usually pretty much the same. Like, I had my time that I would go to work, and then in the morning I would go to the gym, and then I would come back, watch some Netflix, go to sleep, repeat the next day. Like, it was always kind of the same. And then when I quit that job to become a freelance artist, I was much more flexible with times. I didn't have like the same schedule every day. Everything kept changing all the time because I like that. I like change. And this was very uncomfortable. Even though it was more fun, like, I didn't know how much money I was going to make at the end of the month. I still don't. It is uncomfortable, you know? Like, it's much safer. It's much more comfortable to know how much you're going to make every month. Like, it's much more comfortable to have a place to live and stay there the whole time, all the time, you know? And now when I look back at those 2 or 3 years that I worked in that job, I can't really remember much. It's almost like this block of time in the past that I don't know what happened in that time, you know what I mean? It's almost like the 3 years I spent in an office job, it went like this because it was always the same. I look back and I don't see the time. I don't see the things occupying the time. But when I look back at me out of that life and having a more unpredictable and uncomfortable life, it feels like so much more than 3 years. I've been 3 years doing this, and like, I've done so much more than when I worked in an office. Not saying this is better or worse. There is definitely downsides to this life, and this is why we're here, probably because I'm feeling really confused. But I do think it's like legit scary to think that some people live their whole lives and it just go by so fast if you're not doing stuff with your time. You know, if you do every day the same, I don't know, it could be amazing. Like, if you think of monks, they're doing an amazing thing and they do the same thing every day, just not as evolved, I guess. Anyway, there's like a huge difference between manifesting what you want and actually trying to like control your life too much just because life is uncomfortable. You can want things and work towards those goals without needing to know every step of the way what it's gonna be like and how it's gonna be like and how you're gonna react and behave. Like, you can't know those things. Like, you can't know if like opportunities will appear or you're gonna have obstacles in the way. Like, you can't know everything. Pandemic vibes. You could say that we are all lost trying to find our way through life, or you could even say that we are exactly where we are supposed to be because we don't really have anywhere to be. Now, when you have all your lines on paper, you can start erasing the pencil marks and then paint the spaces with your medium of choice. And for colors, I'm gonna choose some earthy colors, like these tones of brown and beige and this dark green, because colors can help us connect with stuff in nature, and earthy colors are gonna help us feel more grounded. This feels really good when we are kind of like spiraling and feeling lost, right? Like, earth has this energy of calmness, where everything is just happening in the right time, and you can just trust. Like, you trust that after the winter, the plants are gonna grow again, and you just trust. Like, it's nature. You know, there is so much chaos in nature. like when a volcano erupts or when there is a tsunami or something like that. But there's also so much stillness and there's so much going on. Losing my point. I'm just justifying why I'm choosing earthy colors, and if you have earthy colors available to you, then feel free to go for earthy colors too, because I think that can help. And I'm also gonna choose this, like, what is this color? It's kind of like a wine color, and wine means fun. Yeah, it's kind of like a fire color, and fire actually has something to do with fun. It has to do with like being more impulsive in a positive way, of course, and just trusting life and kind of like letting go, just kind of going with the flow, right? Like you can't really control fire. So I'm adding some fire, some warmness to my drawing, so it's not too stable and too still. And this part, as you can see, is kind of like a coloring book, because you already have all the lines, and this is just so relaxing to me. I just love to peacefully color things. It just feels like the world stops for a minute so I can color in peace. You know what I mean? Just choose your favorite colors and try to keep the symmetry game going with the colors as well. So when you paint something on one spot, then try to find the symmetrical spots on your drawing to paint that same color too. And by the way, as you might have noticed, I did speed up this process a lot because this took me about 2 hours or so to finish. I do this exercise as kind of like a ritual to me. So you can watch this video and give yourself time to create this afterwards. And if you want me to create exercises like this to draw along with me, like real time, let me know in the comments and I can create a much longer version of this creative self-care rituals that are so much fun and so good for your creativity. Now we are coming to an end with this exercise. I hope after you're done with this, you feel more aligned, more balanced, and you can kind of let it go and just allow yourself to get where you're meant to be in life in an easy, fun, and effortless way, just allowing life to take you there, even if it's not how you were planning it. And this exercise is really just inviting you to trust. Trust the universe, trust life, trust yourself, that even in the middle of chaos and confusion, everything is okay. And everything is gonna be okay. Tomorrow you might even miss this chaos, okay? So just don't fight it, just let it be. Yeah, enjoy while things are going the way they're going. And before I go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want, no pressure. And I do want to turn this into a series if anyone is interested. So if you are, let me know in the comments, because you know, this beginning of YouTube, it feels like I'm talking to myself, which is fine, no big deal. I am talking to a camera right now. It's gonna be okay. I hope you enjoyed this exercise and I will see you next week. Bye.